Chair. It's good to have you here today. I'd like to talk about the Horse Racing Integrity and Safety Acts. Well, it's called the Horse Racing Integrity and Safety Authority, which Congress created and put under your commission's rulemaking authority. I know you didn't ask for this, but you got it. And I've got some questions. They're not complaints directed toward you or your leadership, but I just like to say that I'm very disappointed in how they have operated. The HISA was intended to improve safety and fairness in horse racing. It's fallen short of its promises. And some of the issues I have, I'm not even sure you're aware of. And when I'm done, I want to ask that we can sit down and talk about it more. But the FTC has allowed them to operate in a way that they are making rules, I believe, without the authority or without any oversight. There's also a budget of $66 million. My question is, does the FTC monitor how these funds are being spent and who the recipient of their budget funds are going to?
So the statutory scheme lays out the relationship between the FTC and this kind of self-regulatory organization. You're right that we didn't ask for this authority. To be honest, it's been a bit of a challenge for us fully implementing it. We don't have real deep expertise in this area. On your specific question, to be honest, I'm not totally sure. I don't think we have that authority to be overseeing how they use their money.
Okay.
I'm happy to get back to you on that.
Separately, if the FTC enforcement staff was investigating an antitrust case and thought it needed to conduct a search of a business's premise, would the FTC need a search warrant for that search?
Presumably, though I do know that I believe it's Section 9 of the FTC Act does give the FTC ability to, engage in some of that activity as well.
All right. I would just let you know that this authority under your supervision can conduct a search without a warrant. They can also impose an immediate suspension on horses and trainers and owners if there's any evidence or suspicion of doping. One of the reasons they were created was because of the deaths in the horse racing in the past, but we've seen just this year that even more deaths have happened, and I would make a case that this authority is poorly run and operating in a way that I suspect if you all really knew, you would disapprove of. I'd like to sit and talk with you all about that after this hearing down the road. Moving on, I want to talk about some of the mergers and the policies with respect to those. I'm specifically curious because I'm looking at a letter that Senator Warren sent you all in January of this year about some pharmaceutical mergers. How much interaction does her staff or her have with you all with respect to these? Do they have influence with the direction you all go on some of these investigations?
Congressman, we hear routinely from members of Congress. We get letter week after week, including from many members of this committee. We take all of that under advisement and want to understand what our members' concerns, but any law enforcement decisions that we're making on an independent basis based on the facts and law before us.
Well, I'm looking at particularly the Amgen and Horizon merger, which I understand was moving along pretty well. And it's different than some of these mergers that she mentions in this letter that I'm reading. And I know y'all probably have a copy. I'll get you one if you don't. But Horizon is an Irish company. It's a kind of a special case because it inverted in 2014 by acquiring this Irish company. So they actually left the U.S. For tax benefits. And now Amgen, as I understand it, is looking to acquire this company. They're involved in totally different drugs. And what this would do is actually bring a company back to the United States, which I believe is a goal that we all share, is bringing industry here at home. So I would also ask, especially since it seems to have been stopped right after Senator Warren sent this letter, if I could sit down with you all at some point and we talk about this one as well. Can we commit to doing that?
We'll be happy to have a follow-up conversation with you. Yes, Congressman.
I appreciate your work and thank you very much for being here. I yield back.
Gentleman yields.